Hello, hello. What's up, guys? This is Agony, and this is my feedback stream. So we're gonna go over some songs that got submitted, and I'm gonna give my feedback on them, tell them what's wrong with the song, what they can improve. So, yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit just so people can come in. I realized that YouTube actually has the that feature that like tells you when a stream is starting, and it just kind of is in people's feeds. So I'm gonna be using that a bit more. But yeah. Also, apparently today they got announced that the Dub Duels lineup. I don't know if you guys follow those things, but it's like a competition basically with a bunch of other producers, and you just like make a song in a week and then submit it, and you have it go against some other people's songs, and it's usually like one drop, and they like vote on that. I in like other feedback streams, I've like gone through the other Dub Duel submissions and like gave my feedback on it and like which one I thought was gonna win. I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, at the finale because they just like they kind of just had someone win by default, and I was like, bro, like why is that gotta be the case? But just returned from Thailand. That's nice. Where'd you go in Thailand? I have a friend that's gonna go to Thailand soon. I also heard they had a crazy earthquake, so that's gotta be fun, right? But yeah, Dub Duels, I'm gonna be competing on that this week, and actually tonight I'm going to be doing like a production stream. I'm just gonna try and make something cool. So for like the Eidolon supporters on Patreon, I'll make something cool tonight and at least try to get something started. I'm gonna sweat my ass off, hopefully. My girlfriend wanted to go and we went, and yeah, the earthquake was there, however the city was prepared for it. I see. Well, I'm glad you're okay, because damn. Yeah, I heard that's why it was kind of like destructive. Also, fuck, dude, they updated SoundCloud. I don't know if you can tell, but like everything here is different. You can kind of see it a little bit, like the icons on the top are all different, and they like made this thing like smooth. They like rounded the corners. It's gonna be like a new thing people are doing. It's like rounding the corners on stuff. They have their own dark mode as well. Finally, I've been asking for that forever, so I'm happy with that. So, anyways, let's get started. Ba-da-ba-ba. That's cool. Oh, nice.
Overall, great idea, man.
Okay, that's just another build up. I want to hear this like bass here. That's kind of staccato bass. I want to hear it like sound a bit more because it just sounds like a sub bass and some kind of detuned saw. Uh, and it's like it's fine. It works. It does. There's like no issue with it, but you could make it something a bit cleaner. I think it's like it's really wide and detuned, and then already pretty wide and detuned intro, so you can make it stand out and kind of make it a drier instrument. I also think the brass instrument in the background should have a bit more low mids. It's really just taking up that width and like high end. So uh let it be a bit more dominant. Like come on. It can sit more comfortably in there. I think in this section, everything before the drop needs to be turned down a little bit. You want your drop to be the loudest part again. Your buildup is kind of just clipping, and you're having a hard time making things fit in the buildup because everything's just so loud and fighting for dominance. So just like turn things down a little bit. It's okay to have really high dynamics in there. I can just see it on the waveform, even on SoundCloud. Everything's just like kind of smacked the ceiling, except for like the intro. But it should never be the case. Your stuff should, your intro, your build up should be quieter relatively than your drop. Your build up, it's kind of like hit or miss on if you want to be loud or not, because sometimes it being loud can be good and it creates a lot of like space and stuff, but loud in certain areas, like in the high end or something, will have to be a bit different. But generally, like, try to have some dynamics. Like, dynamics are good. You want the drum to be able to punch out with just a transient, you know? Don't need to really mix that much. It also makes mixing pretty easy if you have, like, more dynamics in the song in the first place. Can take off all the effects here. When the vocal's playing, that's the only thing that can play. I mean, you have too many effects, it's taking up too much noise. I can barely tell what he's saying. The cymbal doesn't need to be there. You're trying to make tension. You're not leaving that tension to build up when you have like instruments still playing in the background. Just leave just the vocal. It's fine. Like you have an art playing, you have the cymbal playing, you have some kind of like pad, you have a sweep playing, and then your vocals playing. So it's too many elements, and it's not making it impactful. Your bass here is just good. I like it. It's a little harsh on the high end, like the presence is too high. Like 10k up, I believe, is kind of what I'm hearing. But it's not like a big deal. The bigger problem is that your sounds are bleeding into each other. And what I mean is that your basses are just, they have a lot of reverb on them, and that reverb is not getting cut when the next sound plays, like the next note. And so it's just kind of having this washy reverb over the entire bass, and it's also taking away from the transient, it's taking away space from it, from the sub, from the dry part of the bass. I recommend either turning down the reverb decay and just making it shorter and more dry, or you could render it out and then cut it up, so that way the reverb will restart every time the bass plays, and then it'll sound a bit drier, and also transient will come through a bit more. You also have control on like how long the notes last. Like some of these notes kind of ring out for too long. Like here, you hear like the high pitched screaming sound, that it's ringing out too much.
Have you tried?
The bass here sounds great. I love this part of the bass.
Overall, great idea, man.
There's something I was gonna say about the vocals.
Have you tried?
Oh yeah, okay, so the vocals here just kind of sound like they're playing, but the phrases that are being used don't make any sense. And I can't even tell what they're saying in the first place because there's so many effects on top. We're gonna have it say something like kind of funny and goofy and just wacky, I guess. At least make it able for me to hear what they're saying. It's also like completely mono, which I guess isn't really a bad thing, but I mean, we're in the drop. It's not like you're like trying to build tension for the next session or something. It's just there to be like a filler sound. So it's not, I would say it's not needed, but it's not bad that you put it in. It just sounds a little weird to have vocals playing, you don't know what they're saying, and they sound a little goofy like that. I hope it's something nice. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. Just a nice solid song. I feel like your drums are probably a bit quiet too, but that's like such a minor thing. But yeah, that's it for that one. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Okay. We have next. So give me 1 second. Who shall I review next? Mm. Okay, we'll do Mecha Wolf next. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen your stuff. What's up, High Says? You got a reply from Ausla. Is that a broken link? That's gotta be a bit embarrassing. Sending a broken link to like a label. Did they ask for another link or something? They did, because I I wouldn't even know if they would respond after that. It was FFA. Well, when you share like links and stuff, you have to make sure you hit like the share option. So like this, you gotta click in there. And it allows you like shorten it and stuff, which I guess is nice too, but you have to use it for this if you want to send like private songs. Otherwise it'll just be broken. I don't know if you already know that, but yar. Okay, Mecha Wolf. I got drugs from Sultan. And that's probably what you look like when you do the drugs from Sultan. Okay. Damn. I was not expecting this at all. And we're in another spaceship. Copy 49er. We're gonna take off to Mars in about T-minus 10, 9. Oh fuck. What is playing? Why is actual Sultan playing? Why? Okay. I had a few notes. You did take a little bit of a risk. I was gonna send bad stuff. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough, I guess. But I mean, it's a cool idea. Yeah, spaceship taking off. Oh my gosh! What the hell? Whoa! What the? Can you guys see this oval ass X mark right here? What in the world kind of design is that? Why is it an oval? What? What is going on? What the fuck? Okay. All right. So I like this spaceship sound, kind of building up the atmosphere. The only thing is, I don't think it works at all for what you're making. You're like making a spaceship kind of sound, like taking off, like you're in it, and like I just hear in my head like some radio chatter of like the pilots and mission control. And they're like, 49, we're gonna go to Mars or some shit. Fucking, I got make sure you check your engine oil, whatever. You know, you like just talking chatter, and then it just goes into like this thing, and it does not give me the vibe at all of like a space adventure or anything even regarding that. Like it totally sounds like something Egyptian. I mean, I think that's what you were going for with it referencing Sultan, but then you have the sound design, which also doesn't complement at all because you're using like really basic sounds. You got like a square wave that just has a low pass and some resonance that's being distorted. And then you have like a sawtooth lead with some bit crush on it, which is really interesting. I don't know if that works at all. And you have like a break going on and then like a sub just following it, following the pattern of the break, which I'm not too into. It seems really random. Your bass levels are really inconsistent. Like this, that downbeat is so loud and bass heavy, and I can't hear any tone in there. It's just really distorted. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. This transition is complete whack. It's just no transition here. It's not, you're not changing the mood, the tone, or anything. The pretty easy way to fix that, I mean, if you want to have the spaceship sound, which I strongly suggest you don't continue trying to use, I would just honestly make a melodic intro with like sitars or something instead of that. But if you were, take that lead and just reverb it out to just absolute oblivion, and then slowly draw back the decay until the drop hits, and it'll sound pretty cool. It'll sound also like more fitting with like the rhythm you're going for and the style, so it would meld it together pretty easily. Howdy Agony, I just resent an updated link in the Google form, so please ignore the older one. I've got you, Espen. I submitted a remix. Hope you get to hear it. My first submission. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. This tune is so old and was supposed to be bad even back in the day. It only got like 10 samples then. I mean, yeah, it does sound old relative to your new stuff, but it is a pretty cool idea. I feel like it would be pretty easy to remake though, because it's so early in the production stage, you know. It's a lot of mixing errors too, just like your sub is so insanely loud, and it's in that thing where like when it goes up and down in pitch, the loudness completely changes because you have some weird EQ on it probably that's like hitting the sub, and then when it pitches up, it's not like boosting the sub anymore, it's just boosting nothing, and so it just changes how it sounds. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. I like it. I like something that's different. I always like something that's different and not like the usual dubstep. It's more entertaining to go through and like pick apart, you know. A lot of people don't even know that I like make music other than dubstep too, so it's not like I only know how to use like dubstep stuff, right? I think said ignore the last one, so I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna delete it actually. Espen, okay. Espen, and I have Ices, Neochrono. Neochrono sent 2. So I will check. Do 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 do. Okay, well, we're gonna do Neo Chronos first. I think we went through the paid patron ones, so now we can go through that. So Neo Chrono. They're different links. I hope they're different songs and not just like a broken link. I'll open both of them in case they're like the same version, same song, different version, or something. Those are different. Okay. Like accidentally skipped the entire intro. That's fine. There's nothing related. Critique there. Oh my god. Bro, oh my fuck. That's crazy. What the dude, I'm gonna lose my mind if SoundCloud keeps doing this. I'm clicking the play button, and if you like slide down a little bit, it pops up the playlist. Like, I hate that feature. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Stop doing that. Like, dude, it's worse too because I have a glass mouse pad, and it's like it's like I can just spin my mouse around and stuff, and it spins like 5 times. I can't be doing that like the entire time. Okay, wait, I'm gonna reel it back. Damn! Dude, that's tight, man. Dude, what is this, man? That sounds like sick. Oh my goodness. Damn. Dude, that's sick. Okay, so I really like the intro. The intro is really cool. It sounds like it needs something else, like just an added instrument, but it's already really good. The only reason I'm saying that is because you need to make it sound like unique a little bit. Like just look up like Newfory. There's someone I bump quite often. But they are super good at making like just really memorable songs, memorable intros. Newfory. They used to go by Volant. If you remember them, if they like if they were when they were on Monster Cat, you know, they made Mint. So But like all this stuff, that's not really like, that's like house stuff. Where's the non-house stuff? I guess this would be it. That's just like using a sample. Damn, can I like find one that I'm thinking of? Oh, this one I love. Like, do you hear how many instruments are happening and like how many different samples are playing? There's just a lot going on, but not too much to take away from the idea. That lead is still bouncing around, kind of in the background, but it's floating between getting like, there's like a low pass on it, and it's just LFO'd slightly, and it's fading in and out of the background and foreground, just ever so slightly, but it's there and you can hear it, and it's dry enough for you to perceive it as like a melody and like the vibe of the song. You have like vocals playing left and right. You can't hear what they're saying, but they're whispers, and I don't think you need to hear what they're saying. They're just adding to the atmosphere that you're like in some Y2K aesthetic cyber thing. But there's a lot of details happening here. Yeah, and then it goes into the drop and stuff. But in this, you have just the build-up playing. I think the build-up is really weak. You have the clap rhythm. I like the clap rhythm a lot. But then just playing that stab over and over again. And then you devolve the build-up into just like a regular, just a normal clap build-up, which I don't like. I like it being just a unique rhythm. I think you can build it up in different ways. You keep that clap thing going, and then just have a kick drum just fill in like the rest. So just have the kick drum playing like 16th notes or something, and then automate it upwards in volume, or low pass it and open up the low pass through the build up. Add some effects in there. I would even say like even add laser sounds. I don't think reverbing the stab is gonna be enough or necessarily even good. But just like add some cool effects. Make this a cool part. You can really go crazy with whatever sounds. And best part about the build up is you're trying to dissociate with the melodic part of the song, with transitioning into the drop, which is pretty atonal. Like it's not, you're not gonna ruin the entire song if you go out of key in this section necessarily. So if you could make a sound, you can make it, and it won't matter what key it's in or what kind of sound it's playing. It's gonna fit the vibe of the build up and kind of break up that melodic tone. Yeah, so the build up is weak. The sound design is really good. I am afraid though that you're trying to make the rhythm too complex. And I think the rhythm is fine, but with you using this bass, it's gonna be really hard to make it sound good with the rhythm, because like when you have a really distinct bass like this, where it's a lot of movement and there's a lot of grittiness, it's kind of growly. Making a rhythm with it can get really messy really fast. Like you wouldn't use a, let's say like a really long sustain, you wouldn't use that to play a really fast like almond break rhythm, right? You would probably just make it way shorter, because it'd be really hard to make a sustain into a fast rhythm. You wouldn't make it a 16th note necessarily, because it would just bleed into each other's notes and then just be a big old mess. This bass, I feel like would be better if it was just a bit slower and a bit more simple. I'm kind of okay with it just playing quarter notes, but in like a clever way. You don't need to fill up that space constantly. You can make a different version of that bass that's made for like really plucky parts of the sound, and then you building your sound palette even more. And I like to talk about sound palettes because it's a thing I'm describing when you have like a bunch of distinct sounds. What I mean by a sound palette is like if you're making like tropical house, dude, you wouldn't be using a pan snare in that because it just doesn't fit the vibe of tropical house. A pan snare is very heavy, dark, tonal, in like a metallic dark way. So it's really heavy, a lot of transient in there. There's a lot of lower frequencies that are really dominant. It's made to be in a mix that's very loud, so it just wouldn't fit for a lot of various reasons. But say like, I don't know, a shaker, that's pretty fitting for that sound palette. And you have like these breaks and the stabs that are playing in that kind of sound palette. There's really cool growl. It's also in the sound palette. I think interesting that in the build-up would be a good idea. What else? I think just having more variation just in your drop, like the sound. That's what I was saying. Like, look at the sound and just change it slightly so like it fits shorter notes, so you can do more complex rhythms, like really plucky and not like a sound that rings out too much. And then that would also like elevate your sound palette to allow you to make different sounds, right? Because you're kind of stuck in this palette of it has to be really gritty, it has to have this disperser on it, it has to have this tone, and you can't like put any bass in this necessarily. It has to sound like this kind of bass. What is that, Mr. Badman? Yeah, so in this part, the snare just doesn't have any transient at all. I don't know what's going on with it. If you're gonna have a section over here where it's just like a snare, you should change up the sound design to be just contrasting to the other one, because you had the kick clap combination in the section before, which worked really well. I like that a lot. And the second part, you have the snare and you still have the gritty sound. Like, something has to change. You have to make a contrast, since the drums are having that big of a contrast. You have to match it with the bass sound design. But dang, dude, this is really good. I like it. I know it sounds like I'm dunking a lot, but it really is just a good song. I like it. You also have a really interesting aesthetic. Like, you're going for a lot of green, which I don't think anyone is even trying to use in art anymore. Like, it's all just red art, bro. And I've kind of fallen into that category too, where I'm just using red and everything. And I hate it, bro. I feel such shame using red like I am. But I like your aesthetic of it being green. Also kind of fits if you like making your name Neo Chrono. Like, when I think of Neo, I think of Neo from the Matrix. And so it just kind of fits in my head. Like, just fits, you know. Okay, and the next one you sent was a Konodo bootleg. Okay. Damn, bro. Oh, I didn't put the notes on. Mm. I don't like the Reese here. It sounds like really out of place. You have like a piano playing, and then you have some kind of wood instrument, or no, wind instrument, just like playing in the background. When that instrument is like really drowned out, and it's not good because you don't have enough confidence in that sound to bring it up in the foreground. Um, it just sounds really weird. I think that bass is made from that sound. So if you like made it more apparent by making it as dry, you could transition that really, really well. I think of like the Ray Volpe song. Fuck, what's it called? It's on like the. No, it's not an EP. I can't remember what it's called, but he did like an effect where it was like a vocal chop that he was playing, and he kept repeating, and then it like slowly morphed into his main bass, and then just started playing a rhythm, and it was really cool. But it was really seamless, and I think you could transition like that tonal sound in the build up itself. Like just take off the reverb, make it dry, and this part have it just keep playing dry, and then it can just turn to that. Like you pretty much have the sound here. Just have that sound in the intro, transition to this part, and then have the drop play. And people are using respaces so much. I like pointed out once, and now I just can't stop noticing it how much people just rely on respaces. I mean, they're cool sounds, man, but they're getting really overused now with intros being used. It's just kind of like, man, we could probably move on from this, you know. But like you can use other instruments that can fill the same space. Why not just make it not a respace? It's just a little much. It's not like a big issue, I guess, but I just hear it like another respace, another day, another day where people just using respaces to fill up space. I don't really have much to say about the drop. It's just good. I like it. I guess now I'm hearing it like repeat. I think the rhythm kind of is too messy. Make it something that you can hum at least, or like follow along pretty easily. Yeah, but I don't have any other feedback on this. It's just good. Good job, man. Some killer tunes right there. I'll keep my eye on you. I'll be watching you, okay? So don't think you're safe. All right, next we have winner of submission. Dang, Tremor. Wait, what? Tremor, where the flip are you, man? Show yourself. Oh, you said Yo-Yo Peeps, and that was the only thing you said? Come on, dude. Okay, we'll have to do Tremors next. Oh, you're in Dub Duels? Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize. I haven't looked at the list on Dub Duels. That closely at least. I only noticed or saw like just a few names. I recognize Base Galaxy, recognize Break, which I'm somewhat friends with. I recognize Tricus, but I don't really know much about them. I've heard of Vexus. I know Surgeon because I talked to him a lot. Just Blue, I just heard of. I don't even know what like they make. I never even heard a song from them. I don't know who Saiju is. I don't really know who Zeroth is. I think I've seen them around. I don't know who Aver is, which it's kind of funny. I don't know who that is. I don't know who this is. I know who Kaifu is. I see their stuff on Twitter quite a lot. I don't know who Wistful is. I don't know who Jackson is. I don't know who this is. Oh, it's Tippy. Is that Tippy? I guess I kind of know who that is. I only know their name though. I don't know any like music they made. I know Wellen. I've listened to like one song from them. Don't know who NME is. I have heard of Def Floor. Don't know. Can't name a song. I know Extrek. I've heard a song of theirs before. Azer. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know these people. I know Skay, and I know Kaval. That's kind of. Wait, is this even the right Kaval? I don't know if that's Kaval. What? I'm thinking of Kaval, like the guy on Rushdown, right? Is that him? It's this guy, right? Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that guy. Why is it showing? Okay. Yeah, Kaifu's sample packs. I remember his sample packs. Their sample packs were pretty good. I heard. I never used them, so. Wait, where are you then? Which one? Which one are you? Oh, you were that one. Okay. Guess I skimmed over that one for some reason. Yito? Okay. Well, I mean, I'll see yours, your battle. Be rooting for you. 'Cause dang, yours is good. Hopefully we fight each other. I'm kind of nervous, not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous just because the judges have been really inconsistent. So I don't know what they're I don't really know what they're gonna vote, honestly. Like there have been some songs I've been listening to them. I was like, oh, that one, yeah, that one is like so good. Like that one's insane. And they'll vote for the other one, and I'm like, man, what? There's been a few times that happened. Even the first time they did dub duels, like when Sista was on it. There was quite a few where I was like, dang, how'd this one even lose? Like that one was the one that I thought was sick. But I guess not. I'm just kind of nervous about the judges. Yeah, I know. I don't even know. I hope the judges are a bit more technical. Like, I trust Sweet Tooth a lot. I think Sweet Tooth is a really fair judge. Funkcase, I liked Funkcase as well. When he was a judge, I thought he was really fair and had really good opinions. But I don't know about anyone else. I don't know about anyone else. I think I should I just make Rhythm Bro? Like, I gotta. They're watching me probably. They're listening to everything I'm saying. Anyways, let's listen to Tremor's song. Tremor, are you ready to get destroyed? You know what you signed up for. Heartbreaker. Emoji. Whip. Fuck. Fucking Oval is popping up again. Okay, well, props to you for not clipping it to absolute garbage. Okay, so this is like some kind of remix or a bootleg or what? Okay, that's from something. Okay, so yeah, the gun bass is just not doing it. It's just not like just done enough. You got a good tone, you got a good sub bass going. Like it sounds great, but it's just it could use a lot more energy. The simple solution is always distortion. So if you want to do the honors of just like saturating it a little bit more, the gun bass that is, then I think it would sound pretty good with some more saturation. It needs just more width and more space because right now it's really mono. So it's like sitting directly in front of me and it's making that sound. It doesn't sound like it's big or like crazy, not spacious at all. It needs to have some reverb, just something. I effing knew I needed more distortion. You gotta tell if you're overdoing it when it just becomes like white noise, basically. You just want to hear like a little bit of like harmonics come in from the sub, and that's usually when you know, but you can turn it up a little bit, man. You don't need to worry too much. Your kick doesn't sound like it's being sidechained at all, which I don't know if it is or not. It just doesn't sound like it because I hear the bass just playing right over it and it sounds like it's being drowned out. Your kick transient could be a little bit louder. Like you want your kick transient to be as loud as your snare transient. Also right here, your gun bass is more wide, so it's taking up more space and it sounds more energetic. The ways you can make it energetic and spacious is, well, obviously distortion, right? The really cool trick you can do is if you grab the sub bass, or if you grab the gun bass and then you make a reverb bus, so that's like a chain that has nothing else in it but reverb, and the reverb is full wet, and you high pass that reverb, and if you feed it into another channel with the gun bass and distort it, you'll have like that distorted wide reverb that is playing against the sub. And that's really good for width and also adds a lot of character to your reverb, and it's not just like, 100% clean. So it'll sound pretty unique and tonal and add some characteristic to it. You could also add chorus on top of it and just make sure it's high passed, of course. You could do that. You could add hyperdimension on there as long as it's only on the high end. Sometimes when you have like filters on it, like serum filters, say like using all passes, combs, reverb, any of those filters, if you turn the pan up or down away from the middle, it'll create a lot of stereo width. So you can use that to add width as well. Just make sure as well it's not affecting the sub too much, because your sub will start becoming stereo and then it'll be kind of weird. I like how you're adding layers on top, but I don't know if the 8-bit fucking Pac-Man sound is gonna be a good fit for the gun bass. Just try different layer sound, but it's a good idea. I like what you're doing with that. Yeah, the brass in the background is also just really low quality. I can hear it, the quality just cut off. I don't actually know if it's the quality or not, or like if you hard low passed it. Either way, you need to be able to hear the high end. I don't hear any cymbals. If you have cymbals, turn them up. If you don't, then add some. It adds some space, obviously, some background elements, some hype. Actually, I do hear one. I hear like a ride, but it's so quiet you can't even tell it's playing. Your bass gets old pretty fast. Try doing some pitch bend on it. So instead of just going do some like weird pitch bend. Have it go up and down or something. Just use like a curve of some sort. Just mess around with the pitch because it always makes something more interesting. You wanted to go with it cool bit style bass. Serum 2 is too fun. Oh, you're using Serum 2 for this. I see. I mean, just add another layer that is like a percussive layer that is like all bit crushy. That'd probably be way easier to do, I think, if you want to have like a bit crushy bass. But maybe also just more distortion would help a lot too. Okay, well, that's about all I have for this one. It's just nice. Maybe turn the kick up as well. This like little reverse sound effect too, this like grainy reverb thing. It's a cool idea. I like it. It might be a bit too loud though. So yeah, my final thoughts on that. All right, we're off of Tremor now. And now we have Hisays. So we'll do Hisays. And after that, Espen. So Hisays, if you're here, say hello. I'm gonna get into your track and demolish it. Okay, nice.
Click, clap, blast 'em.
Nice. Dude, this is sick. Very nice job. Is it a Marshmallow remix? I don't even know what the original sounds like, but more of a sometimes house trap producer. Trying this genre lately. I mean, all genres welcome. I've been making future bass for a long time, and I know a lot of other genres too.
Click, clap, blast 'em.
I think
Click, clap, blast 'em. Click, clap, blast 'em.
I think that reverb should cut out as soon as the vocal plays. So it's like the reverb tail is right here, right? As soon as the vocal plays, just cut out the reverb entirely.
Clap, blast 'em.
And then in this section, when you have the reverb tail still playing, and it like pitches out and all that fun stuff, just use a reverb made from those two notes from the lead, or whatever instruments are on there. But take the reverb from this part and have that be a tail instead of all the stuff in the build up.
Click, clap, blast 'em.
This fake out's a good idea. I like how you're executing it. I think it could be even better though if you cut out the last phrase and then replace it with some kind of sound effects. I think like a gun cocking back sound effect would be good, or like a reverse kick or a snare, you know, something that is percussive and just kind of adds more tension, because you already have the fake out and it sounds good already. It just needs to have the impact of that kick hitting a lot more. So just any effect you feel like, honestly, you have a lot of creative freedom with this part right here. And yeah, I had some other notes on the intro. I like the intro quite a lot, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, this part. So you're having this like rhythm play in the build-up, which I think is doing you a disservice because you're using like a halftime rhythm. Right? And you're not doing a 4 on the floor like dance song, right? It's not going. You have this rhythm going where it's like kick, clap, kick, clap, kick, clap. You should stray away from that because that's like a fundamental rhythm. You when you don't want it, you want it to be a pretty fast, stable rhythm that doesn't sound like it's already the drop. That makes sense. Like instead of having it be on the offbeat, just have it just play the kick clap the entire way. Or just the clap or whatever. But the kick clap snare just doesn't work. And it's very confusing.
Clap blast 'em.
Your kick, man, I think your drums are the weakest part of this. Your kick does not punch through like at all. I think it's mostly the sidechain's fault. Your sidechain is really short, and I understand you want it short for the clap. However, the solution should be have different sidechain for your kick and clap. So I don't know if you're using like Kickstart or whatever sidechain plugin you use, but have one be triggered by the clap, one be triggered by the kick, and make the kick sidechain longer. If you have a plugin that splits like the low bands and high bands, make the kick sidechain for the low end like as long as the kick lasts for, like the decay, have it match the decay time, and then make the high end like whatever sounds good to you. If you want a big pumping effect or not on the high end. And the clap, just make it relatively short. You want it to punch through, but you don't want the clap to take away too much from the instruments, if that makes sense. I hear some sidechain, but it's not triggering when the kick plays, which is really weird. It's like triggering every like half beat. It's kind of weird. It's triggering every half beat, but it's not triggering when the drums are hitting. So you need to have the sidechain trigger when the drums are hitting. It's the whole point of sidechain. Otherwise, you're just using it as like an effect, like a sound design tool, which you don't want in this case. You want it to play around your drums. That's pretty cool. This part here, just turn that down because you can hear the distortion. That fake out thing is just hitting the master and it's clipping really hard. Something else that might be beneficial to you as well, just get like a transient processor if you have one through Kilohertz, or the one I use a lot that I really like is the transient processor from FL Studio. It's like their image line plugin. Just some kind of transient processor and just bring the transient of that kick up so that it stands out more. some points you have like the notes play or the melody play for too long. It was kind of okay here because you're like doing a fake out, right? But then you do it twice. And you don't need to do that twice. Like you already established that that's the main tone of the song. You don't want to go back to that melodic point. So just cut the second note. So it goes ba-da, ba-da. So just make it go ba, and don't have the second note at all. Just take it out. And you can reverb it out or whatever else you want. Yeah, I think it's a really cool song. Your sub bass is really high up though. It's like playing like an A or something. Like, are you sure you want it that high up? You could just transpose the entire thing to maybe like F or E. It's just really high pitch. Also, like here in this section, the low bass note is going from like a A to like an E, or like D or something. Like, why can't you just have the root note be one of those lower notes? I don't think it would be too jarring if it was a different note like that. Yeah, and this buildup is also distorted. You can hear it. You can hear it very slightly, but that needs to be turned down. So just turn that down a bit. It might just be your master too. Just make sure when things are clipping, you want that clipping to only happen in the loudest point, which is the drop. You don't want your buildup to be as loud as your drop. If it becomes as loud, then just use a regular compressor that there isn't any harsh distortion. That'll be an easier fix for you and also prevent it from being too quiet. Part after the first drop and before the second buildup is completely from the original song. Okay, well that makes sense then. So it sounds like it is going from like A to E or something. Just make the root note of your drop be like E or whatever the second note is. It's either E or F, something like that. Can I resub next stream after working on this again? Yeah, you can resubmit as many times as you'd like. The only thing is, like, if you're the paid member on Patreon, you do get to skip the line. So see, look at this part, okay then? You did the exact thing I was talking about in the earlier section. Like, that sounds really good. That section works super well. So do that for this part. Trust me, it'll sound amazing. Also, you are using a lower note here. It sounds good. There's something weird going on though. I don't know what it is. It's, you have like some layer or something that makes the sub sound really just off. The only thing I can think of is that the sub you're using is from the original song, but you pitched it down with a pitching algorithm. That's the only thing I could guess what it possibly is. If you're using samples for the sub, just stop that and make your own sub. It's not hard to make like an 808 sound. It's just like a distorted sine, basically. So I don't know if you're doing that or not. There's something wrong with their low end. There's something with your low end. I don't know what it is. It could be possible it's the lead making like causing low end issues. It's something like that. Second drop sub is a sample, yeah. Okay, well that's it then. Why is my internet like crapping out? It is really not liking it right now. Bro. You having internet issues? Is your internet bad? Okay. Because mine's crapping out.
Streaming stuff.
Are you streaming?
Well, I'm
Okay.
and we were at 100. Degrees. Yeah.
Okay, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Very strange. Yeah, it's laggy. It says it's doing okay now. Um, can y'all hear me now? I don't know what just happened. I think there's like storms heading this way, and I think it's messing up the internet because it just like completely cut out entirely. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, I can't remember what I was saying. I think you just confessed to me that the sub is a sample. So yeah, just recreate the sub if you can. I don't know if you have made like sub bases before, like 808s, but it's really easy. I think you'll be fine just using your own, you know. And plus you have more control over like how it sounds and everything. Okay. I can't exactly remember what else I was gonna say. I kind of like how you're alternating the drums here. It's pretty nice. It's a nice little fun thing to do to alternate drums. But that the really tonal like one that sounds like you're hitting like a glass jar or something. It needs a layer with it. Cause it's cool, but it needs something else with it to make it more percussive and make it hit harder. Cause it's really light hitting. It's just like a layer sound. Also, your leads here, as good as they need some kind of compression on it because their levels are really inconsistent. And I think they're too loud in some areas. And this one in particular, quite a lot, actually. So make sure that you're checking the levels, make sure you have a limiter or a compressor on it to kind of clear that. So, yeah. I don't have anything else to say. It's just a nice submission. Like, this is the most like well done thing I think I've heard today, aside from the Neo Chrono one. This is really good. Big props to you. Hope that you submit more in the future, because dang, I like this. Okay, next up, Espen. Are you with us? Just like making Phasmophobia references constantly. Are you here? Did you die? How old are you? Let's go. Espen. Espen, is your ass prepared? Oh, fuck.
For 10,000
That kick scared me. What the hell?
years. Banished from my own homeland. And now you dare enter my realm.
Oh, whoa.
I'm not prepared.
I kind of like that sound.
My realm. You are not prepared. Banished. You are not prepared.
Noise. Okay. There's some obvious problems that I think we could probably all hear. Well, firstly,
For
dude, fuck this kick, man. It scared me.
imprisoned for 10,000 years.
Okay.
Banished from my own homeland.
I don't think drums are even needed here, man.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years.
Just like if you wanted drums to make people know it's not a movie clip, like a TikTok edit, and it's like
1,000 years.
it's a remix or something, just like add hi-hats or something. You don't need to add a kick or snare.
Banished from my... And now you banished from my own homeland. And now you...
I think that clap should be removed right here. I think your kick fill's fine.
And now you dare enter
I think your kick fill, if you just like high passed it, made a really sharp high pass, like 48 octaves per decibel, a little bit of resonance, and like had it automate downwards to the downbeat, it would sound really sick. I think it would be really cool. Like, it's not like a little bit like a tom fill, I think. And you have this like insanely low pitched bass. Like, what is that playing? Is that like C or something? Like, it's so low end, so deep.
prepared. I'm not prepared.
Ugh. Okay, your fake out is not good. Your fake out is just like a bandpass mono part of the drop, and it doesn't even play for like a whole bar. It's half a bar. Or no, is it a half a bar? Let me hear it again. Excuse me. Okay, it plays for one bar, but like it's not helping you at all. Like if you're gonna have the fake out be one bar, then just don't have a fake out. It's as simple as that. Your fake out is called a fake out because you're faking out the drop, and the drop isn't just one bar. Like you have to be able to understand and perceive like what the flow is, what the phrases are, what the call and response is, you know, just something like that to have some grasp on what you're even faking out. It's just not there, and it's like sounds just really forced. So have it play out for at least like 4 bars. I think 4 bars is a good like maybe minimum ground, like minimum time. You could do it in 2 bars, but it's really difficult. 4 bars is pretty easy to make it happen, like execute wise. Yeah, C# bass. Yeah, your high end is absolutely fucked right now, man. Like your high end is so distorted and so messy. It just sounds like crunchy white noise, and it's not even like making it more energetic or interesting. It just sounds like a mistake or something. And the sub, just be happy your sub is mixed like pretty well for this. But your top end, just stop distorting it this much, have it be pretty clean, and then distort it with your sub. So have your sub and your top bass be put into a mixer channel together, and then distort it that way. So that way they have like something that is actually modulating it. Because if you're just distorting the high end by itself, you are like taking the lower mid frequencies and then essentially just like distorting the top end with that. You should be distorting the top end with your sub. Your sub is a clean note. There's no like randomness. When you distort high end, it's gonna sound like noise because you're just like modulating really messy frequencies onto more messy frequencies. Like there's a reason why you don't like do FM in Serum. There's a reason you don't FM from noise, right? Because it's too noisy. There's not enough tone. So it's the same kind of concept. But what you can do with white noise instead is you can put it on a sub and then distort together, and then it sounds like there's actual tone. It's also just really mono. I think I put that in the notes. Yeah, it's really just mono and not making any energy happen. It's so just not, it's so thin, and the fact that you're distorting it in the high end so much is also just making it worse. But your sub is mixed well, surprisingly. I don't know how you can do that. It's pretty crazy to get away with that. So yeah, just distort them together, add some width to your bass. If you can't find a way to make it wide in the actual generator, then your last resort should be adding it in post, preferably before you put it in the channel with the sub and sorting it. So if your bass uses like unison or something, just make sure it's wide unison. Or if you're using like an all passes or reverb filter or the combs or something, make sure you turn the pan knob a little bit up. The pan knob just makes the left and right channel have different cutoff values, so then it gives the illusion of like stereo. Oh shit, I just accidentally turned my mic all the way down. But it gives the illusion of stereo. You could also use the hyperdimension thing, or not hyperdimension, but there's the dimension expander. It's under the same like thing in Serum. You have hyperdimension, you can use that. You could use chorus if you wanted to, and like the last resort stuff is to put it on the post thing. And using dimension expander is also the same option. Using reverb is also a decent option, but it's so, I get feedback on that a lot. But putting reverb on something like a bus, is really hard to get right. And I realize when I say, oh yeah, just put it in a reverb bus, it's like way more stuff going on to make it sound good than you think it is. I've been so afraid of losing mono presence that I steered too clear of the widening effects. Would it be better if processing widening FX parallel? To process widening FX parallel? No. I think this is a little bit of just my opinion, but also I think the biggest misconception in just just sound mixing in general is mono compatibility. Like a lot of live venues do not use mono stations. Like they use stereo. So you're not like losing anything. Most people are not going to listen to your song on mono, right? The reason why people say that you need to make your sub mono is because the sub is the most important part of like a EDM song, which makes sense. And typically like subwoofers, which is like anything, say, I don't know, like 70 hertz down, subwoofers are usually one speaker. But I mean, most venues also have multiple subwoofers in there, so they have the capability of playing in stereo, but also having a little bit of stereo in your sub isn't like the end of the world. It's not like the worst thing ever. It's like you're gonna get like maybe a half more decibel loudness in your sub, like at most. And even then, if your sub is too quiet, you can just turn up the bass. Like that's the same thing with mastering too. Like you can just turn up the songs. If your songs are too distorted and crazy sounding, then the people behind stage will just turn it down anyways. So it's just like a misconception. You'll see me a lot if you ever looked at my like production stuff. I have a lot of stereo in my sub sometimes, and that's because it's fine to have stereo in your sub. Sometimes you want that effect, so don't be too afraid of it. Just be smart about it. You can use Serum to have like the direct out, so it doesn't even get put into there in like the stereo processing. It's just trying to find avenues for your sub to go through without it being stereo. Literally you could go complete stereo down to like 100 hertz, because there's a lot of songs that have stereo even lower than that. If you're really going to be a stickler about like mono compatibility, get the free plugin Span. There's a little meter on the bottom right that says correlation, and correlation means that the left and right channel are aligned phase wise. And if you just look at it like blankly, you'll see the correlations all over the place. Usually the more positive the correlation is, the better for mono compatibility. However, most songs are not mono, so it's going to look like it's jumping around between negative and positive constantly. If you really want to check and make sure your sub's not mono, or if it's like good, just low pass your song down to the sub and then open up Span and see how correlated the left and right channel are. Anything that's like a positive value should be good. If it's like going in the negatives, then you probably do have a problem. But if it's in the positive, then it's fine. Anyways, I think that's... Oh no, I had another thing. Your basses are really missing some mids. I think in this section you actually have the most mids, but like this part you definitely don't have any mids. So mids are also not a very scary thing. It's okay to have some mids in there. This kind of happens when you're over reliant on using like notch filters to get a good sound, because at some point you're going to kind of mimic what good sounding basses will sound like. Your bass should already sound like it has scooped mids in it a little bit. Not saying that using notch filters are bad, but overusing them is also really bad. You want mids in there. Mids are what makes your sounds gritty. It's what makes them really wide. If you have wide mids, then it really just comes together really well. Like your wide mids make your song sound really huge and big and gnarly. Anyways, that's all the feedback I have for you. So any other submissions, then I will end the stream here. So yeah, thank you guys for coming by, and for those people that are subbed to my Patreon, I'm gonna do a production live stream. I'm gonna just be doing one for Dub Duels, since I'm on that, I guess. So I'm kind of nervous, but I'm gonna start just working on mine immediately. And just yeah, I don't even know like what the rules are, but I'm gonna try to make something cool. But yeah, see you guys another time.